Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today's video is a little bit different than we normally make. I just felt it was really important to sort of talk about this whole situation going on with SML. I'm sure most of you have heard about it, but before I get into that, I just want to mention our channel is extremely close to 1,000 subscribers. We're only 30 away, so we would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. It means a lot to us, and we have a huge plan for 1,000 subscribers. So please make sure you go subscribe, and now let's get into the video. So I'm sure most of you have heard the situation going on with Logan and SML, and if you haven't, I'll basically sum it up as this. So a couple days ago, Logan changed his channel from Super Bowser Logan to now it's just simply called SML. He also changed his banner and his logo. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it was a bit weird, but I didn't think much of it. Until then, a leaked DM started to pop around on Instagram of Logan telling one of his fan-made thumbnail accounts about how he received a cease and desist letter from Nintendo, basically telling him he was no longer allowed to use Nintendo merchandise in his videos. And so as a result, Logan now is going to be solely using his human puppets. And I've been seeing a lot of people getting quite worried about this, especially people that make plush videos similar to Logan. And I just wanted to make this video to tell you guys that I really don't think you should worry about it, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so the first reason I really am not getting too worried about this situation is the obvious reason. Logan's plush channel is way bigger than anybody else in the community. Logan has combined close to 20 million subscribers, and everybody else in the community, I mean, I believe Luigi Fan 001 is the next biggest channel with 400,000. But yeah, so the point of it is Logan is way bigger than anyone else, but that's not really the reason I think Nintendo is choosing to attack him. And the reason I believe this is happening is because of the nature of Logan's content. So, as I'm sure most of you are aware, Logan in the past especially featured quite inappropriate content on his channel. And he has improved since. He's stopped swearing, he's stopped with the inappropriate jokes. He's stopped with the gore for the most part and stuff, but all those videos, though, that are inappropriate are still on his channel. And I really think this is why Nintendo is not okay with what Logan's doing. Now, of course, Logan, by law, is allowed to use the Nintendo merchandise. However, the problem comes when Logan is using their merchandise in a bad light. Now, from Nintendo's perspective, what I believe they are thinking is that they don't want their brand associated with what Logan's doing, right? Like, Logan has done a lot of race jokes, he's done a lot of really insensitive jokes about serious events like the Holocaust and stuff, and he's also done numerous extremely vulgar jokes, and on top of that, just the constant swearing, and just all of that combined. When you have a huge brand like Nintendo that specifically caters to children, that starts to become an issue, because if you think about from their perspective, they're trying to sell to children. And who's buying for those kids? Well, it's the parents. And if their brand all of a sudden starts to be associated with vulgar jokes, swearing, inappropriate content, gore, all the things Logan used to do, well then parents are going to start to be kind of deterred away from purchasing Nintendo products. So I think that's one of the huge reasons Nintendo is doing this. The other main reason I want to bring up is the fact of how publicized Logan sort of has become. I mean, it all really started with the Good Morning America segment that went in on him for his inappropriate content, specifically towards Jeffy. And, well, when you have a huge news station as big as Good Morning America talking about your videos, well, then that's going to get the attention of Nintendo. And in those videos, Nintendo's products are there. Not only are they there, but they're also... I mean, Junior is called Bowser Jr., Mario's called Mario. Like, it's directly linked to Nintendo and their products. So, I really think Nintendo is doing this because they... I'm assuming they had professional lawyers on this case, and they were working on it for at least a few months, and they finally found a way to make Logan not be able to use their merchandise anymore. So I can understand their perspective on it, honestly. I mean, when you have a brand as big as Nintendo, you really don't want your brand to be associated with that. And I know Logan has changed, but the point is, the videos are still up on the internet. People are still talking about them. Now the news has covered it, and it's really starting to become a big thing, I guess. So I think that's why Nintendo is really doing this. And again, I think that's pretty much the only reason I could see them doing this. Because it can't be because of the profits Logan's making, because, well, if you look at it, if anything, Logan makes them money, right? With Logan's popularity, you can only assume Nintendo is selling more plushes, more puppets, more everything that Logan uses, right? Like, I am willing to bet you when Logan was on the rise, that was in what, 2016 or 17, I can almost guarantee Nintendo's plush sales probably tripled, maybe even more, right? Like, most people, the community speaks for themselves. Most people in this community are heavily influenced by Logan and what Logan did and how he essentially created this community. And I know the Cute Mario Bros were a part of that too, but the point is, I can't see Nintendo doing this because of Logan taking profits from them. Because if you look at it from a market perspective, it would actually do the opposite. Nintendo's sales would naturally be going higher. Because it's not like Logan is selling these plushes himself, because that would be fully illegal. When people watch Logan's videos and they want the plushes Logan has, they have to go to Nintendo to buy them. So Nintendo naturally is making money off Logan, so that can't be the reason. The only other reason I could think of is it has to do with profit, but not about Nintendo's profits getting hurt. It has to do with Logan. Now, I'm sure most of you realize Logan makes well over $1 million a year, probably closer to $5 million, when you take into account merchandise and everything, per year. And from a legal standpoint, that can get pretty tricky, right? You don't want to... It's a very fine line to be profiting off of another company's trademarked merchandise, right? That's the same reason why on YouTube you can't profit off of copyrighted music, right? Now, Logan's is a little bit different. It's not as copyrighted as music, but Nintendo does own the rights to those characters. They own the rights to those names, and they own the rights to those plushes. So when Logan is indirectly profiting off them, especially to the scale he is, I can only assume Nintendo is a little bit worried about it, to say the least. So I think it's more so the point I brought up first about the inappropriate content and the link to their brand. But it could also be because of the profits Logan's making off them. So overall, I felt I had to make this video to ease people's minds on this situation, because I know a lot of you are getting pretty concerned about this, and you're worried that pretty soon Mario Plush channels and content overall just won't be allowed because of Nintendo, and I want to assure you that is not the case. This is specifically targeted to Logan specifically, and like I said before, as long as, well, for starters, none of you are even close to as big of a channel as Logan. That's the first thing. Unless, like, I don't know, Crazy Mario Bros and Richie, they're still pretty far off, but I guess they could be considered big. But the point is I honestly do think Nintendo's doing this because of the content Logan chose to make. And because in their eyes, they think it can really negatively affect the image of their brand. And even though Logan stopped, all that content is still on the internet, like I said before. And it's still circulating around, and new people are still watching it. I mean, look at the Super Mario Logan channel. That channel's been abandoned for what, like 3 years, and they're still getting hundreds of thousands of views a day, thousands of new subscribers. Like, people are still finding and watching all that inappropriate content. Just because Logan stopped making it doesn't mean people stopped watching it, and new audiences are still being exposed to it. So I really think that is why this is happening, and I really don't think any of you should worry about it, because unless you're making really inappropriate content, then I think you'll be fine. And especially at the size you're at, unless you have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, then you'll be fine. So my response to this whole drama is, this is specifically Logan's problem. Logan did it himself. It should be obvious. You can't, like, regardless of your opinion on it, when you're using children's toys and things that are directed towards kids, you can't be making content as inappropriate as Logan was. You just can't. So that's all I wanted to say. I felt this was important to make, and please don't worry about this situation. The plush community will be fine. 100% Mario plushes will still be allowed to use. This is just Nintendo's way of trying to get rid of Logan. And I guess he's probably been bothering him for a long time just because of how big he is and how he's been on the news and everything. But that's all I wanted to say about this. Please don't worry, guys. It'll be fine. Keep making your videos. Don't worry about it. This is specifically Logan's problem, like I said. So, thanks for watching, guys. And, we are currently making a Valentine's Day video. It will be out on Valentine's Day. Sorry for not uploading for a while. We were pretty busy with school and stuff, but we are working on videos as we speak. So, see you guys then.